Hi, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind the Successful Invisible, and I want to come to you today for a dating tip. This definitely applies to women who are of means and are educated. And that tip is that only poor men say that they don't care about your education. Only men who are poor in terms of education as well as monetarily are going to say something that asinine. Because here's a tip and here's a clue. Wealthy people, wealthy families, men from wealthy families marry educated women. Okay. So be very clear at exactly what you're hearing when a man says he doesn't care about your education, he doesn't care about your little degrees. I'm privileged to work with women who are 35 years and older. And 9 times out of 10, those women are highly educated. They do not run in circles socially with men where education is not important. Now, as you become even more alignment with prestige and people of money, not just the fact that you've gone to school, but where you went to school matters as well. And I attached a clip to kind of drive home this point. But know that when you ever hear a man say to you, if you're out and about, oh, I don't care about your education or your low degrees, especially if he's of a comparable age, especially if this is a grown man, 35 years and up, and he's saying that, he is a man with, he doesn't have vision. He probably lacks a certain level of education, and he is not the type of person you can necessarily build with because he has a very limited and ignorant view of the importance of education. And to try to dismiss yours is saying a lot more about him, his ego, and his character than it ever would say about you and having those, degrees and that level of education. So dismiss men as any real partners who say that, but also know that that is the type of person that's going to secretly sabotage you if you have ambition to go further in your education, in your schooling, or in your career, because he's already told you he doesn't think it's important. And so he is going to be a stumbling block in your way if you try to strive for those things and you're partnered with him. So take that tip to heart. Let me know your thoughts.
The men that say that your degree and your education as a woman is not important are the same men whose lineage, genetics, and name are actually not worth passing down. And they know that, which is why they're projecting and they're gaslighting you and trying to gaslight you. Because here's the thing, men that actually run the world, contrary to popular belief, it wasn't men who built the world. It was a certain group of men who constructed the world and put the rest of y'all to work. That's actually what happened. So let's clear that up. But men of means, actually, they really do care about what school you went to in your education, because it's important, especially if they want to have children, that their children have a great lineage. Yeah, the same men that are like, well, I don't care about your degrees. Okay, cool. You don't. My parents met in grad school, Northwestern. Did your parents go to school? And this is not to shame anyone at all, but it's just like, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You don't have a lineage worth passing down. And I'm going to tell you this. I live in DC. I have a business in DC. A lot of my clients and my customers are lawyers, government officials, and some of them are related to some people that you see very regularly on the camera, on the news, wherever. And they have so many questions for me and my mom because they want to know how they can get their kids into these same schools. Because contrary to popular belief, for the men that actually matter, for the men that actually control things, I'm not saying that men don't matter, but I'm saying for the men that control things, they want a great lineage for their kids. That doesn't make any sense why you would not want to be with an educated woman, a woman that went to great schools. So for instance, I know like a lot of my clients, like especially the men who have sons, like a lot of them want me to date their sons because I went to the second best boarding school in the world. And I went to a very illustrious liberal arts college. See, when men say that I don't care about your degree, I don't care about this, the men that run this world, they care about my degree. Their ears perk up when they hear that I went to the school that I went to. And I studied math and political science and did a thesis in political science. They're obsessed. So ladies, if a man is saying, oh, I don't care about your degree, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He has nothing to really, that's worth passing down. He doesn't really have much to give to the child that you guys might have. at the end of the day, like, the men who control this shit, they care about these degrees. This is how they've been able to keep it a boys' club. And so if you as a man are going to come onto my platform and be like, well, I don't care about your degree. That's cool. That's cool. I know a lot of men who care about my degree, who want me to be with their children. Because I did go to the second best boarding school in the world, Andover. I did go to one of the best liberal arts colleges in the US, Amherst. So you can say what you want to fucking say, but at the end of the day, the men that fucking get it and actually want to do something with their lives and actually understand that legacy is important, not just passing down your genetics and your last name. Legacy is important. They want that. They want that for their kids. So don't feel bad, ladies. Don't feel bad. Once again, rejection is protection.